Good morning everyone and welcome back to the Crafty Cupboard. My name's Leanne and today I'll be working on Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 5, Prompt for Vessel. Today we're going to dive into a slow stitching project that's both functional and beautiful. We'll create a lovely bin to hold our sewing scraps and thread ends, and I'm going to use a collection of vintage buttons, fabrics, laces, things that were gifted to me, things that are from my own collection. This project's not only practical, but it's also a wonderful canvas for trying out new embroidery techniques. Let's start by gathering our materials. For this project, we'll need a selection of vintage fabrics, some beautiful laces, and an assortment of buttons. These items will add a touch of charm and elegance to our scrap bin. Each piece has its own story and character, making our project not only functional, but also a celebration of beauty, history, and shared friendship. Let's begin by preparing our fabric pieces. I'm going to use felt as my base for the structure of the bin, so that should make it sturdy enough to stand up on its own. Take your time to arrange fabrics in a design that's pleasing to you. This is where your creativity shines. Let's add some vintage laces and buttons to enhance our design. These will not add only beauty, but also lovely texture and dimension to the piece. Take your time to pin and baste the pieces together. Slow stitching allows us to enjoy the process, savouring every moment of creation. Our scrap bin is the perfect canvas to trial embroidery techniques. So you can pick some new things that you'd like to give a go, or just simply practice old favourites. Grab your favourite threads and start stitching simple designs to add personal touch. Just use a variety of stitches to create something unique and beautiful. It really is such a great opportunity to just experiment and have fun with embroidery. Slow stitching invites us to slow down our breathing, to be in the moment, to bask in the glory of the glimpse of winter sun. Once all our embellishments are in place, it's time to put our bin together. So carefully sewing the sides.
And I've left a gap for turning it all through because the ends will get sewn on.
As we stitch these elements, we can appreciate the craftsmanship and history they represent. Each stitch is a connection to the past and a step forward in our own learning on our creative journey.
And let's give it some French knots. This is a variegated thread from Cottage Garden Threads. I like variegated threads for this sort of thing when you're just doing random flowers and it doesn't matter, or just patterns like on my ink tense piece. But we had a beautiful King Charles Cavalier named Ruby, and when she passed I wanted to stitch her, embroider her, and I bought variegated thread, the colour of her. She was a Blenheim, so that's the sort of, you know, coppery brown. And I found myself cutting the thread up into lengths of where the variegation changed because I wanted control of where the different colours would lay. That was one of those projects that I was very afraid of doing, and I ended up really, really pleased with the results. And I ended up taking it and to like a sit and sew with a group of friends, because then I couldn't be sort of distracted by getting up and doing the washing and all of that sort of stuff with all my self-doubts running. And I thought, if I'm just sitting and chatting with friends, I'm very relaxed and whatever happens, happens. And what happened was to see my beautiful little girl appear in stitch. If you're feeling scared to stitch things and you're wondering, oh, I shouldn't bother because it won't be good enough, or any of those things, throw all those thoughts away. Tell that mean self to shush. Be your own cheerleader. Be adventurous. Say, what the heck, let's just do it. Have you been on the internet too much today, staring at other people do things? I give you permission to turn it off right now. Go and stitch something. You will feel great. Stitch without judgment. Remember that childlike joy of play. Just surprise and wonder. That's what you need to bring to your stitching.
And placing on the ends to form the structure that will hold our sewing scraps and thread ends. our beautiful and functional scrap bin is now complete. It's a wonderful way to keep our sewing space tidy while showcasing our creativity. And how motivating to come past your work table and see this piece of beauty looking at you, saying, "Sit down, stitch some more." Who inspires you in your stitching journey? Share your stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I hope this project has inspired you to slow down, enjoy the process, and create something beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share your own stitching projects. Until next time, keep stitching with joy and love and finding beauty and calm in your creation. Happy sewing, everyone.